I've heard that there's going to be death from starvation by hundreds of millions of people. I don't know what the exact estimates are, but it looks like hundreds of millions, maybe even up to a billion, which is crazy. I mean, that many people, it's terrible.
Yeah, and everybody wants to blame it on Russia, and that is the bread. Ukraine is the breadbasket of Europe. I get that, but there was already problems before that. There was food shortages before that ever started.
So, what do you think? Like I don't know. Everyone likes to say, "Oh, it's a conspiracy theory," that kind of stuff. But I'm not going to say that to you. What are you seeing, and where do you think this is coming from? What's your honest assessment of it?
The conspiracy theory thing, I get that a lot. And usually I'm reading straight off the World Economic Forum. I'm reading facts and quotes from the people that are in charge. And it's like, I don't see how this can be a conspiracy. They're telling you exactly what they're doing. By 2030, you'll own nothing and be happy. This is not me saying it. That's the people that are in charge that have all the money, that have, all the wealth. It's them saying it, not me. I'm just telling you what they're saying. So there's going to be a time where we're right, just like, the food shortages, the crop failures that, I've been calling this stuff for 6 months or longer. And now it's starting to show up and then nobody likes to talk about it, just like the mandated medicine that I wasn't crazy about.
Right. Yeah.
Anyway, what was the other question?
Well, I wanted to ask you, so what, well, we'll get into the details shortly, but so you're actually starting to see the things that you prognosticated 6+ months ago. You're actually starting to see at least localized food shortages, and tell listeners a bit about what you're literally seeing right now. End of June 2022, which is when we're recording.
Okay, so I have my people in my comment section. I've got a Telegram, a financial prepper Telegram, and I do call outs about 2 or 3 times a week. It's kind of like a boots on the ground or community, helpful community call outs, pretty much. I name it something different. I don't know if I'm going to name it just yet, but I'll read through there and say, hey, there's no oil in Florida. Hey, we don't have any food here. There's no baby aspirin in Canada. This lady looked all over the place, couldn't find any baby aspirin. The medical supplies are really running thin in a lot of different places. It's not centralized. It's not like it's, there's a glut of goods right now. That's what's so strange, because nothing goes straight up and nothing goes straight down. So the supply chain is starting to get tight again. And now we've got these glut of goods, and there's actually a surplus at stores like Target and places like that of mainly the goods we don't need. But if you can buy, I'm trying to encourage people right now to, if you're not a prepper, you're just kind of getting into it, or you're starting to realize, hey, food prices are only going up. That's one thing that we've been trying to tell people. You can beat the stock market. If you'll buy food that you're going to eat anyway, you'll beat the stock market. And it's so far.
So instead of buying Bitcoin, you should buy food coin, AKA food, because it's going to go up.
Well, I'm big. I like Bitcoin too. I mean, I think
I'm just teasing.
It's speculation, but yeah, you're right. That's a lot of times I say, try to bring stuff to reality. Like one laying hen, I've got chickens, and a lot of people want to have chickens, but they can't or whatever. Or they're not ready. I think that 1 ounce of silver, 1 silver round, will be worth 1 laying hen. I think that's how, and I'm sure the ratio will get a little bit off, but right now it's pretty close. As they devaluate our currency and food becomes more scarce. Like if you go back to Venezuela, that's the closest thing we have as of late, the hyperinflation that happened there. And yes, they were different. They weren't the world reserve currency. They didn't have a bond market. They didn't have a tax revenue, but it was funny. Eggs went up 15,000x, not percent. Eggs went up 15,000 times the original price. Apples went up 6,587x. Potatoes went up 2,000. I mean, and the only thing that rivaled food was gold. Gold went up 25,000x. So like in 2017, gold was 11,500. In 2018, it was worth 3 million. So that you were able to really hedge against that with physical precious metals and also eggs and food, because food was a real problem.